Start recording. Good morning, fisher people. I'm Alan Norris from Fish on TV. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of April. Well, St George's Day. Get in. Happy St George's Day, everybody. And I've just arrived at the King's Chamber for the FeederKing Qualifier 1. And I've managed to get a last-minute ticket last night from Brad Smith. The same guy I got the ticket from for Decoy Lakes for the Feeder Masters Qualifier, so I'm hoping this ticket's just as lucky as the last one. He's not very well in Brad, so I hope you get well, Bradley. And thank you very much for the ticket, well appreciated. So, Southfield, Meerkat Manor, Meerkat Reservoir, Watterlick Reservoir. This, I've said it before, like Ferry Meadows, it's not been kind to me at all. The day that I did catch quite a few fish, I think I had about £15, which you'd take any day at week there, I got pipped by Rob Button on the end peg in the corner there. I think he had £16 something. Not got to these for the FeederKing final in 4 years of trying. So I'll say it again because I keep saying it on, but the way things are going this year, things may be different. But the Moody Mistress is unbelievable. People say, where do you want to be? You've drawn a flyer. There's no such thing. Not in my experience at Southfield. You're either on them or you're not. It's that simple. You've got to pick the right lines. It seems to be, for me, every time I go, I'll decide on some lines that I'm happy when I've chucked about, and they've caught on different lines. So it's a bit of a mystery. It's a place that I can honestly say you can't really work out. You know, I've heard of people saying, oh, but they've got more information to share, this, that and other. I really don't think it makes that much difference here at Southfield. So basically, where do I want to draw? I want to draw where there's some fish and hopefully pick the right lines and heave a few of those bream out. Now I will say it's just started to pick up a little bit. It has been very, very difficult indeed. It's just started to pick up a bit, and the fish that have been caught, I've had a couple of goes. The proper fish, they're sort of 4 and 5 up to £7 the odd one. But sort of 4 and 5 pounders, beautiful fish. They're coming in, I'm pretty sure it's what's spawning, but you know, we'll just see how it goes. There'll be every mightiest fisherman here today, every single one of them. I'm on about the feeder flingers, all wanting to qualify for that FeederKing. I would be overjoyed to get to that final. It's about time I did get there, and I'm due a good run at Southfield. So let's get to the draw. That'll be going off shortly. Let's see where I get drawn, and let's see what I think when I get to the peg. I'll tell you all through it when I get to the peg. So wish me luck for a peg with oodles of breams.
Hello! I'm on fire. Alan. Peg Alan.
Right, we are 1 hour in. Yeah, just gone 1 hour. Nobody's had a bite here. I've seen a guy land a small skimmer, looked about that big, on round about 60, 59, 60. That's the only net I've seen go out so far. I could be wrong, I might have missed some, but I'm hitting my target out there. I've just changed to a window feeder now. I've had 3 or 4 casts with that one, just plugging bait in. 3 casts with that actually. And I've had 2 casts with a window feeder about that big. It's a 40 gram that, but I just thought, this wind just keeps going that way, then that way. But it's also behind, so I've just put a 30 gram window feeder. I got there quite easy actually, I was surprised how easy it got there. So 30 gram window feeder it is out there. Just try and keep it as accurate as I can. The further you go, the harder it is for accuracy obviously, but I've been quite happy with where they've gone so far. Pretty much in the same spot, give a yard or so, if that. But I don't mind that, a little bit of bait knocking about left and right. It's them bream, they don't all go to one little spot. They graze about, don't they? So I'm happy with that. Now I put 4, have I got one? A little bit bigger than that actually. I've put 4 feeders. It's a little bit bigger than that, maybe 2 holes bigger than that. Short, at 38 metres. Right at the beginning. And I left that half an hour. And after every cast, I'm having 10-minute casts. If I were on fish, hopefully I'd be only having 6 or 7 minute casts, but I think we're going to have to be a bit patient up here. So after every cast, I'm emptying one with dry ground bait and a few particles, not loads, and then one with some slopped up with chopped worming and the chopped corn and bit of hemp, and that's sloppy, and I'm emptying that. I'm emptying them on top. I'm pulling rod back because when you empty it on top it just goes straight down. So I'm hitting my clip and just holding it up and then emptying, gently emptying. It comes out of these feeders, these nice feeders, it comes out lovely. So when I actually go to fish it, when I cast out, it'll just come in a little bit, even though it's only about 4 foot deep out there. It'll just come in that little bit, tightening your line up, moving the feeder. Hopefully we should be right over the bait. And if there is any fish up here, I'm hoping that that's where I might get 1 or 2. But you just don't know with Southfield. You can have all the best plans and hit your target bang on every single time, like I have on this short line. There's a little jetty that comes out and I'm hitting it every time, so I'm having to look left and look right. If I want to empty it left or right, I can hit that bang on. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a line that they'll turn up on, but I'm not going to go on it for the first few hours. I'm just going to keep feeding it after every, as if I'm fishing it, every 10 minutes, empty a few. There's only small feeders, so I empty 2. Just gives me a little bit more spread rather than just putting one great big one in. It's going in nice and quiet, boom, empty the feed, trickling down. I'm hoping it might attract some. So that's a little plan that's going through my mind at the minute. I said earlier that I'd decide on what I was going to do, and that's what I'm doing at the minute. I'm just concentrating on trying to keep this accurate at 60 odd metres, because now wind's going that way. We're going that way a second ago when we first started talking. If I can get the accuracy out there something like, I'll be happy, because there's always a chance. I've always caught bream, mainly long on here. And the only reason I've gone to 62 is because of the silt, and I know most people will probably be fishing around about 50. I've got my own water here, and I've just gone that little bit further, so hopefully it's at the back of everybody. I think Joe might be close to 60 metres with the look of it. But recent form, from what the regulars say, you want to be down there. You can only do your best, people. Try and set it up and hope for a visit, and try and get it emptied while they're here. Like that, emptied. I take every bream that's in the swim. I reckon you only catch 2%. Right, there's probably fish out there who have had no liners, but you just don't know, do you? Could be days where you turn up and not have a bite, you've just not presented it right, and there's been fish all around your peg all day. We'll never know, will we? But trying to keep it as accurate as I can. Keep putting a little bit of feed. It's mainly ground bait, just bits of feed in. I don't want too much in there, so because when I put my bait out there, I want it to be the standout bait. And especially towards where I'm thinking of going on it, I'll probably mainly just put ground bait as an attraction. So when they come in, my bait's there, and it's just like, eat me, eat me. But I am putting particles in at the minute. Like I say, half an hour before I'm thinking of going on it, I'll probably cut them right down and just empty different types of ground bait over it and see how it goes. Only bite I'll get today, but look at it so far, is off this swan. He's eating all my little droppings of ground bait and stuff. Right, just thought I'd give you a little update. That's what's in my mind. It's nearly 5 to 12 with fishing while 4. So you've just got to be patient. And the braid, with this sun being out and it being, it's just getting a bit of a blow on it now. The braid's been popping up. That does me head in, that. So I've got my tip under water. But I have, if I have to go deeper, I have got these. My Terminator gigs. The bream will be saying I'll be back. Right. Let's hope we get a few pulls, people. Right, it's 1 o'clock, so 2¼ hours in. Not a sign. Joey's had a skimmer, I think. A little 3-ounce skimmer. I think it's Mick Axon that's had a skimmer. Maybe 2 little skimmers. We've heard in the 40s that Danny Wilson has had 3 bream. Apart from that, I don't think anything else has been caught. I've not seen any landing nets go out. But I've just not had a sign. What problem I'm having now, I've got some fairy liquid, I keep having to put it on my braid. The high pressure, your braid's wanting to come to the top all the time. So I've got my tip under the water. It stays sunk for so long, and then obviously once it dilutes, it's coming back up again. I'm just having a 20-minute cast on this one, and I think I'm going to have a look short. Just see if anything's turned up. I think a bream out of the blue could be massive today, but as I've seen umpteen times on here at Southfield, people can have 2, 3 and 4 bream in the last hour. I hope that's me. You just never know. So I've not seen any fish roll. Sometimes you can see them, but not very often. But I've not seen any fish roll. I've had no signs, no indications, no liners. Neither has Paul outside of me. It is fishing very difficult. I'm almost tempted to just have a launch towards that banking. I don't know. I've not ever heard of anybody catching out from there. I don't know. I think your best chance is really just to keep going over where I've put some feed and hope it goes. That's bending like a banana again. I just sink that. There you go, back to normal again. Yes, there's nothing to try and work out. I think it's a case of keep your feeder going in accurately and hope something turns up and takes a fancy to your hook bait. There's no pattern, there's nothing to gauge what's making a difference, there's just nothing. It actually feels like there's no fish up here at the minute. And there's not a lot you can do if that's the case. You can fish it as perfect as you want, and if there's no fish, you ain't getting a bite. End of. So I've fed that 38 metre line nicely, not too heavy, only small feeders, little spread of bait, emptying it on top. Will they like what I've put out there? Well, we'll soon find out, because I'm going to have a look. I think, if I were a guessing man, there might be a chance of one out at blue long, and if I do get an arrival, the short line at 38 metres could be the line. Now there's one other thing that I have thought about with how difficult it's fishing, but do you want to mess about? Do you want to waste time doing it? You can feed maggots quite short, chopworm maggots quite short, and you can pick eels up. Don't go down that line, waste time on risking missing an arrival on your other lines. Don't know, I've not fed it at all short, but I'm like thinking, is it worth it? Just don't know. Dilemmas, people. I hate catching eels though. Ruin all your bloody hook lengths. Slime everywhere, they whoop your arm. But is that a way you can qualify? I don't know. I just don't know. So that's what I'm thinking at the minute. I've got to have a look on that short line. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I've not touched it. When I've been bringing this back in, I've been putting my rod well to right, so I'm not going over it. I was hoping that by having my long line over the top of it, I was hoping I might see a few liners. But obviously with the braid coming up, I ain't going to see liners. So that's been in long enough now. I think it's time to have a quick look on this short line. I'll probably empty a feeder full, a small feeder full, just ground bait, and then put my hook bait over the top. That's what I'm thinking now. Just over 3 hours in, not a bite. Not a liner, not a bite, nothing. We've heard, I don't know how true it is, we've heard in our zone, last year's winner, Scott Rispin's, had 1 bream. Naomi Caxton's had a small skimmer, maybe 6 or 8 ounce. Joey's had a 3 ounce skimmer. Not heard of anything else. Danny Wilson's had a few bream, and apparently on the canal bank down at the bottom, which I mentioned earlier, apparently there's a young lad caught a few down there. Don't know what he's had, but apparently he's been catching. How much? Don't know. But we just seem to be void of fish. I've gone down the dark side. I've emptied a few feeder fulls just under arm here, short. I'm really wanting to go on it, to be honest. I'd rather just get a few bream, but you know, you never know. We'll see what happens. Right, that's the update. The Moody Mistress is definitely living up to her name. Right, I thought I had a bite on the last cast. It was a liner. I've chucked back out and it's gone round after a minute on that long line. I don't think it's a big one, but it's a fish. I've heard 2 bream and a skimmer's winning our zone, Eddie Bryden.
Yeah, as soon as I thought, I got straight back in as quick as I could, and it's gone round after a minute. It was a drop back bite. It's not the biggest one, probably a pound and a yeah. It's not a big gill that they've been catching. But let's hope we can get another one out there, or 2 or 3. Don't know what that'll be, maybe £1.5, £2 maybe. A lovely positive drop back. You can tell the difference between a liner drop back and that just flew back, slack as anything. So we'll get back out there and we'll see if we can get another one, people. To change your glasses. That's encouraging. Impatient. Trying to be as accurate as I can. So let's see if we can get back out there. See if we can get it in the same spot. That's the key. Once they've an arrival, let's hope there's a good arrival. Oh, you bloody thing. Concentrate, come on. Right on the money, get in. I couldn't have dropped it better than that, people. Just had to up it back to a 40 because I don't know, this wind's changing and it just drifted off on the first couple of casts when I went back on long line. So I thought, right, back to the 40 gram feeder. Trying to sink this braid has been a nightmare today. The trouble is if you don't sink it when it's blowing like this, when it's swirling about, drop back. It's you end up getting a right pull on the tip like it's towing. So you've got to try and keep it sunk. So I keep putting a bit of soapy water on it. Right, let's hope there's a few out there. We need one of them big girls, one of them 5-6 pounders, well 4 to 6 pounders, the ones that I've seen and that I've caught when I come on a Wednesday. So happy with that, that is right on the money. Let's hope, we're off the mark, let's hope it goes round a few more times. Now I never had a sign short, so after this I'll probably start putting some bait short again for the last hour at 38 metres. And then we'll hopefully nick a few from there. That's the plan. I know. Well, 50 minutes to go. I've just gone on my short line. I'm only going to have like a 3-minute cast on this, and then I'm going to have another cast straight over the top of it, and I'm just going to cast it a little bit harder so it's at the back of everything that I've put in, just to see if we can get anything short. I've had another 4 casts long without a sign, so there's bait out there, the little flies and stuff. I'll have a few casts on this, see if anything turns up. If not, I'm going to go back out long, see if we can pick a couple. I think I'm going to need at least 2 proper ones, but probably 3 to qualify. I'll probably need 3 proper ones.
but I'm not holding my breath because it seems it's just been ridiculously tough today. Just not fished at all around here. I thought when I had a liner and then it went, I thought there's a couple there, and I've hit the same spot absolutely bang on. I couldn't have asked for a better cast. I was just like, please hit the target, and it has. And nothing's shown its face, nothing's shown that it's really hungry. But this is the time now. If you're going to have a little run, if you're going to get 2 or 3, it's in this last 45 minutes. So let's just hope something turns up on one of my lines and we can have a run of 2 or 3. 3 would be absolutely mint. I don't know how Eddie Bryden's getting on, but I know he's got 2 bream and a skimmer, so he's well in front. Mine's, I suppose you could call it a bream. It might be £2, but I'm going for £1.12. So I need a couple of 4-pounders, I think, on top. That's what I'm hoping for, 4 or 5-pounders. A couple of them. 3 would be better. That young lad on peg 12 apparently had £15 about an hour or so ago. So he's doing well, whoever it is. So well done, you mighty fisherman. It's just same old Southfield. It's just so unpredictable. You know, when I've drawn this, they've gone, oh, I've drawn a flyer. Only flyer I really know that's more consistent than any other peg on here is probably peg 11. But that, if they don't want to be down there, you don't catch. But you'd always take that peg out of any other. You'd take your chance on it that there's going to be some there. So I think, well, that's it. I'm due to bring this one in. I'll have another cast on it. That's been 4 and a bit minutes, so I'm going to have another little quick cast on that, and then see if anything turns up. Right, 8 minutes left. I had a look on that short line for absolutely 0. Joe went back on his long line when he saw I caught there, and he's had a 2-pounder, and he's just landed one about 12 ounce, something like that. And I think he's got a couple of little fish as well, like, so he could be winning our section with that. I just need a pull in this last 8 minutes. I could do with a 4-pounder just to try and win the section. That's what we're after. So I had a little indication out there. It was only like it just wasn't enough to lift, or was it? We don't know. It was short-lived. It was just like a little. You could just tell. Don't think anything had got hold of it properly. If they suck that in with a size 12 hook on, it goes round or drops back. So that looks like the end of the match for Nosh, unless that actually goes round in this last 7 minutes now. You never know, stranger things have happened. As I always just said, this is we're fishing for pride, I suppose. Well, it's just Southfield, it's difficult. It's not easy. It has its day where you can catch an absolute boatload, but more often than not, it's a struggle, and 3, 4 or 5 fish is brilliant. Or good fish. I've had a lot more fish than that and only weighed less than a pound. You can have them days as well. But good practice. I've been accurate with casting. I don't think I've overfed that short line. I think I've just kept it nicely topped up. If anything, if I was going to have an arrival, I really don't feel like there's been a lot of fish up here. Everything's right with the way it's in and presented, but they've just not fed them. There might be a load of fish out there that's just not feeding. We'll never know, people. But it's been a nice day out, I suppose. Nice weather. What more do we want? Right, let's hope that goes round one more time.
Well, we're all waiting. That's the end of the match. I'm sweating my socks off. It's red hot in here. A typical Southfield day. You're either on them or you're not. And I'll be honest with you, it really didn't feel like there was many fish in that top area. They can be, but not today. End of. I've been quite happy with the, again, casting when I had that liner lifted on it, tip under water. I had to lift it once and again I had to lift on it, but I think it was definitely a liner, nothing there. I've gone straight back out, landed it right on the money, and it's a big drop back bite after 1 minute. So I thought, oh right, let's get ready, there could be a few fish turned up. That was it. I've kept that short line, set it up with a few particles, not a lot, mainly ground bait, 4 feederfuls, and after half an hour, every cast I've had out, so it's a 10-minute cast, I've left some 15-20 minutes just to be a bit patient. Every time I brought it in, I've put 1 or 2 feederfuls in. About half an hour before I went on it, I'd just empty one with just ground bait in and the odd particle. Hopefully thinking that when I go over it, mine will be a standout bait. Nothing turned up on that short line. Really disappointed with it. I thought if I'm going to have a visit, it will be on that short line at 38 metres. Eddie Bryden's been on 60. He's had 5 bream. He's your qualifier, so well done Eddie Bryden. A young lad on peg 12 has qualified, don't know who that is. I'll see if I can get the results and send them to Edley, see if he'll put them up for you so you all know. But it's been a tough day, typical Southfield. When you're on them, it's bloody great, but when you're not, it's painful. Joey Farrell's managed to squeeze £3 out, so he's won our section. But obviously he's not won the zone, Eddie's won that, so well done Joey. Always does well here, does Joey. So you've got to take your hat off to him, always picks up a little bit of money. So well done son. The guy to my left, Paul Cook, he's had a 6 or 7 ounce skimmer, but no other bites. I've had one other indication, that was it. It looked like something had grabbed the worm and had a little tug at it. That was about it, because when you get a bite here, it's either a big drop back or it just goes round. Don't get me wrong, you can have the typical where it nods twice, where it's shaking its head and you lift and you can be into a 4 or 5 pound bream. I'm happy with my face because it's red up, so I'll make it short this. But thoroughly enjoyed it. It's great to be part of the FeederKing again. I have got 6 more tickets. I'm here in 2 weeks time for another go. Again, don't matter if they say, oh you've drawn a flyer. Whatever peg I draw, I just hope there are some fish in front of me to give myself a chance of catching them and qualifying. That's all you can hope for. I think I fished it okay today. I don't think putting less feed in would have made a blind bit of difference today. I've set off with no feed on the long line, because sometimes you can cast out with absolutely no feed and it'll just go around. That's just how it can be. I'm going to have to move because there's a guy turned up with his gear. So that's the end of that. Hope you've enjoyed it, people. Qualifier 2 in 2 weeks time. It's the National on Saturday, so we'll see you on Saturday hopefully at Lindholme Lakes. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, it is absolutely free to subscribe to this channel. If you click that notification bell, you will get all our videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up would be very, very nice. So until next time, people, take care. Don't forget to fish on.